The 2024 secondary for Texas Tech was arguably the worst position group on the entire roster. Texas Tech had to go out and address it in the transfer portal, and address it they did. In today's video, we'll discuss the newest names on the Texas Tech roster, look at the 2D for the Red Raiders secondary, including all of the safety positions and the corners, as well as some names you need to know that could stand out this year in the Big 12. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Got a question for y'all today because let's be honest about it. This is what we need to know. Will the Texas Tech secondary be better in 2025? I want you to answer that down on the pinned comment below. Simple Y for yes, N for no. Let me know, because if we're being honest, if Texas Tech wants to go to the Big 12 title game, right? If they want to be better than they were last year, this position group has to be better. The guys that they went out and got in the portal have to live up to the hype. But I want to hear from you guys, because I know some of y'all are going to say, well, duh, RC, they're going to be better. They can't be worse than they were last year. Hold on. I've heard that before. But also think about the money that they spent, right, from the transfer portal aspect of it. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the pinned comment below. Will the Texas Tech secondary be better in 2025? Simple Y for yes or N for no. All right, let's jump right into this and look at the secondary. We will start with the safeties. You see it, strong safety, star, and then you've got the free safety. Starting over at the strong safety position, you've got Brendan Jordan there now after he is replacing Chapman Lewis, who is probably going to miss a majority of the season. He will redshirt this year after sustaining a leg injury over against Arkansas in the bowl game earlier this year, or late last year, I should say, excuse me. But Brendan Jordan will be your starting strong safety. Chapman Lewis will probably play about 4 games and keep his redshirt status after he returns from injury later on this year. But this is what you're working with here. You've got a lot of young guys, a lot of young guys in terms of the depth chart when you think about it. You've got Brendan Jordan. He's played a ton since he was a true freshman. But then you've got Oliver Miles III, a redshirt freshman. Peyton Morgan, a redshirt freshman, backing him up at the strong safety position. I love Brendan Jordan. I think he is going to be a star for Texas Tech in the secondary, in the sense of he understands what his role is. He's not afraid to put his helmet down and really be impactful, not only in the run game, but he can also cover a little bit as well. So interested to see that shift for him to the strong safety spot, but I think it'll be a good one for the junior from North Texas. Now, you've also got Mike Dingle. He'll start at the star position, arguably the fastest guy on this defense. I mean, he is uber quick, is Mike Dingle. He will start at the star position. This is interesting from the standpoint of, you think about him coming into Texas Tech, he was at the linebacker position. Now he's kind of transitioned more into a hybrid secondary type role, if that makes sense. I think this spot in general, the star spot, really fits him a lot more, specifically in a Shield Wood type defense, where I think Shield Wood wants a guy where he can do just a multitude of things, whether that's drop 3 linebackers back, and Mike Dingle can play a linebacker spot, or he can drop him back and be that 5th guy in the secondary, right? He's quick enough. He's agile enough to do that. He's kind of that Swiss Army knife and chess piece that I think he can use not only from a linebacker perspective, but also into the secondary spot from a safety and traditional safety sense because of his skill set. I'm interested to see him. You've got A.J. McCarty, the former Baylor transfer. He will be the backup to Mike Dingle at the star spot, with Marcus Ramon Edwards, number 42, 3rd string at the star spot. Then you've got free safety. You've got Cole Wisniewski, a guy that actually didn't play last year at North Dakota State, but the year prior, he actually led major college football, at least tied major college football, with 9 interceptions for the North Dakota State Bison. He is an older guy, 6'3", long, lengthy, center field type that isn't afraid to go in and get involved in the run game as well. I'm interested to see how he matches up. But again, you've got a younger guy backing him up, and Malik there, number 24, where it's like, okay, you've got some guys you feel comfortable with in the secondary, specifically from the experience standpoint. We'll see it here a little bit more at the corner spot as well when we discuss them. But he is going to be the leader of the secondary, is Cole Wisniewski, right? So I'm really interested to see how this trio works. I think you've got a lot of speed, athleticism, and there's something about these guys that just feels like, okay, they're in more of their traditional spots now, right? In the sense of these guys can work from these positions better in 2025, most notably because they're in a Shield Wood defense. but also because they're in a more traditional, I guess, spot is probably the way to describe it for their skill set in 2025. Now, for me, the safeties are one of those deals where I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's going to be better than last year for the simple fact of outside of Chapman Lewis, you did not feel good about the secondary from a safety perspective for Texas Tech last year. There were flashes here and there, but Chapman Lewis was really the only consistent guy. And even he had a little bit of a roller coaster season in terms of started out uber hot, fell down a little bit, was picking it up at the end of the season, and then unfortunately had that leg injury that will cost him a majority of the 2025 campaign. But he is a guy that I will be watching for later on in the year, and a guy that I think is going to give that Texas Tech secondary a boost when they need it most at the end of the year, where they're hopefully playing for a chance to play at Arlington. And then who knows, if you play in Arlington for a Big 12 title, you've got a chance to play in the college football playoff. And I surely think that this roster is talented enough. You just have to live up to the expectations and the hype a little bit. All right, looking at the corners, this is probably where everybody is most interested, because last year, how do I say this nice? I don't know if there is a nice way to say it. Booty cheeks. I mean, it was bad last year at the corner spot. Mo Horn, in my opinion, was the only playable guy you had at the corner spot, because I know people are going to say, oh, Braylon Lux, well, he was up and down because of injuries. He flashed when he was healthy, but it felt like it was just a nagging injury all year long where you never truly got to see the best of Braylon Lux outside of really like 2-3 games, right? So it was one of those deals where I get some guys were put into positions that they weren't expected to be in, but that's the name of the game at the end of the day, period. You got to be ready at any given moment to be up in a bigger role, and some of these guys thrived in that. Mo Horn, for example. Others did not. Macho Stevenson, for example. And not to call out one guy, there were multiple guys in the Texas Tech secondary last year that just were not good, but I know a lot of people will point out Macho, like it or not. That's just the reality of it. We'll start from left, go right here. Mo Horn, as I mentioned, he will be your starting corner. And by the way, this is from the quarterback's point of view. So when I say left, it's going to be from the left of the quarterback, right, obviously from the right of the quarterback as well. But you got Amir Boyd, the senior coming in from UTEP. I like the size that he presents, 6'2", 190, has positional versatility. He can play in the slot if you need him to. He can play on the outside. I really like the leadership qualities that he presents in terms of just strictly business and the versatility that he presents as well. Macho Stevenson, this is more of the role for him in the sense of he was younger last year, right? Like he needs time to develop. The traits are there from the sense of he's a bigger, longer corner. He has some speed, but he's just got to get better in coverage, period. So having him as a third stringer at the left cornerback position or just CB in general, that makes me feel a lot better. We transition over to the Bryce Pollock side of it, and this guy was a top 10 corner in the SEC last year by numerous metrics, and now he is your leading corner if you are the Red Raiders heading into 2025. He was a key pickup for Texas Tech in the transfer portal, as was everybody that is behind him on the depth chart. Texas Tech went out and majorly addressed the cornerback room. I mean, look at it. There's a reason that I put these guys on here in their former teams' jerseys, just so you guys can see how many transfers are in this group. Okay, obviously Amir Boyd on the Mo Horn side, but everybody on the Bryce Pollock side is a transfer. Okay, again, Bryce Pollock, a guy that was a top 10 corner in the SEC last year, comes in from Mississippi State. He will be a lockdown type corner in the Shieldwood defense in 2025. Dante Balfour, an older guy that is versatile, but also a physical guy on the outside, can press you. 6'1", 185, transfers in from Charlotte. Really like his experience. Also started his career at UNC over there with the Tar Heels, so he does have major conference experience. He will be a guy that plays a significant amount of snaps for the Red Raiders in the secondary in 2025, and another guy that you can move around a bit. Now, the guy that I was arguably most excited for long-term is Terrion Grant. The guy from Tennessee originally went up to Purdue as a 5-star corner last year, played as a true freshman for a Purdue team that, if we're being honest about it, was not very good. And Terrion Grant, as a true freshman, as most true freshmen do, roller coaster of a season. You saw some plays where he played well, some other plays where it was like, woof. You know what I mean? But he's 6'2", 200 pounds, probably closer to 6'3", if we're being honest. And he is a prototypical pro-style corner. He is a guy that is not afraid to get physical at the line of scrimmage. He can drop back into zone, whether that's cover 3, Tampa, whatever you need him to do. He can do a multitude of things. And to have that as your third corner just tells you all you need to know about this Texas Tech secondary and how Joey McGuire, James Blanchard, and crew really went out and addressed and pinpointed needs from 2024 to 2025 in the secondary was by far the biggest overhaul, in my opinion, and that includes the defensive line. This secondary had to get better, and the names to know, in my opinion, are the guys that are coming in. I'm looking at Bryce Pollock from Mississippi State, the cornerback spot. I'm looking at a guy like Cole Wisniewski, the safety, the free safety to be specific, from North Dakota State, the Bison, who he's got some major game experience, right? Didn't play all that much last year, but he did have 9 interceptions in 2023. You've also got a guy like Dante Balfour, Amir Boyd, that provide depth and experience depth in that Texas Tech secondary at the corner spot. This is a group, much like the defensive line, has to take a major step up in production because simple and plain, if Texas Tech wants to get to Arlington and play for a Big 12 title, this group has to be leaps and bounds better than it was in 2024 because truth be told, this group cost Texas Tech probably a game or two. That's just the reality of it, okay? You went out, you addressed it at a high level, which great job, as you should. Now it's time to produce. I think there's a ton of talent in this group, and I think they will be much better. I'll go ahead and say this because we're at the end of the position previews here. I think the Texas Tech defense is going to be, I don't want to say leaps and bounds better than the offense, but it's going to be really freaking good, people. And the talent is there for that. But everywhere Shieldwood has been as a defensive coordinator in year number 1, he has turned that ship around instantly. Whether it was at Troy, whether it was at Houston, wherever it was, he has turned it around instantly and made an impact. And Shieldwood has never had a defense this talented. I mean, it's going to be a load of fun. And the secondary is arguably the second most talented group on this entire roster behind the defensive line. It's right up there with the linebackers in my estimation. But, again, I want to hear from you guys. Will the Texas Tech secondary be better in 2025? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know down in the pinned comment below. And if you want to just comment, hey, they're going to have to prove it to me. I get that as well. Just let me know in a comment. Like, yeah, they're going to have to prove it to me, RC. I've been burned one too many times. I get it, man. I truly, truly do. But if you do have an opinion one way or the other, yes or no, let me know down in the pinned comment below. All right. We're through the position previews here, people. Football's right around the corner. Let's look at the schedule we've got coming up here since you stayed so long. We're going to talk about the total offense in a video here coming up soon, total defense as well. We'll be talking about offensive standouts, defensive standouts, bold predictions, and then at the start of August, I will give my formal record prediction for Texas Tech in the 2025 season, and then we might have a little bit of a hype video after that because I do truly think this Texas Tech Red Raider team can be really, really special. All right, that's going to do it for the position previews here on the channel. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button for 100% free Texas Tech football content all year long, whether it's on the gridiron or the headlines. In terms of the news, we've got you covered right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube in the Back to 12 podcast channel. All right. I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, as always, to stay safe and welcome Tech.